Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are safe at home and utilizing this lockdown period in study and spending some quality time with family too. As you all have noticed that all the previous year questions belong to the basic concepts of understanding gender. So if you all understand the basic concepts, I am assuring you that you all will be able to solve the questions come under the concept of gender. So let's start today's discussion. We have already discussed gender as a social construct and gender bias. Today, in the second video of this concept, we are going to discuss about the gender roles, gender discrimination, patriarchy, gender-based violence, masculinity, femininity, etc. The first concept of the day is gender roles. Gender roles are learned behavior in a given society, community, or other spatial group that condition which activities, tasks, and responsibilities are perceived as male and female. These roles are assigned by any society or community or any other spatial group. It's not based on biologically structure of the male and female body. Like in this picture, you can see that the male person of the family is reading a newspaper and the female person of the family is busy in household chores with a child who is crying and want help from his mother, and there is another kid, a girl child, who also want help from her mother. So we can understand that here the roles are defined by the society. It's not necessary that women should be busy in household chores and the male person of the family can sit on the sofa and reading the newspaper. The male can also help their kids in doing the homework or playing with the younger child, but the responsibility assigned to the male and female member of the family, not on the basis of sex but on the basis of gender. If we want to know more about the gender roles, we can see that the changes in gender roles often occur in response to the changing economic, natural, or political circumstances, including development efforts. Like in this picture, you can see that the woman is holding a baby in their hand and the male person is helping her in doing the kitchen work. So these changes can be occurred, but if our society is changed according to this mentality, here it doesn't mean that if a male person of the family is helping in kitchen work, then we can say that it is a positive change or the woman should go out of the home. It simply means the cooperation, support from both the genders. Like you can see in this picture that only the male person is helping the female of the family. If she is busy in any work, in any household chores, then the male person can help her. For example, men are not only for the work which is outside of the home, and women are not only for the household chores. If you see an example of a working woman nearby, you can find this example nearby your home or nearby in your relations or in your family too, that if a woman is working, she can do all the household chores and then go for the office, and after coming from the office she do all the household chores. In the same way, men can also cooperate with the woman in helping her. I have mentioned here a very beautiful quote. The opposite of malaria is not pneumonia. Similarly, the opposite of patriarchy is not matriarchy. It's equality. Exactly. It doesn't mean that if the male member of the family is dominating the family, then we should change that the female person of the family should dominate the family. Never. We always ask for the equality to access the resources, equality of rights, equality to take any decision of the family, and equality in doing all type of work, either in household or in official work. Here activity 1. That's a quick activity. The question is, features assigned due to social roles and not due to biological endowment are called. The first option is gender role attitude. The second is gender role strain. The third is gender role stereotype. And the fourth one is gender role diagnosticity. And the answer is C. Another important concept is gender discrimination. What is gender discrimination? The systematic unfavorable treatment of individuals on the basis of their gender, which denies them rights, opportunities, or resources. For example, if anything we want to purchase for family use, then you all said, whose decision is prioritized? Who is taking the decision? Only the male person of the family. Sometimes, or in some families, female member of the family is also taking the decision. But mostly, in all the financial matters, suggestions of female member of the family is always ignored or mostly ignored. Now the activity 2. The question is, a teacher remarks in a co-education class to boys, be boys and don't behave like girls. This statement remark, option A is reflects caste discrimination. B is a good example of dealing with boys and girls. C reflects stereotypical behavior of discrimination between boys and girls. And D highlights the biological superiority of boys over girls. And the answer is C. It reflects stereotypical behavior of discrimination between boys and girls. We have already discussed what is a stereotype in the first video. If we think like a stereotypical person, then there are certain behavior especially for the girls and some are for the boys. So if a teacher is remarking, be boys and don't behave like girls, it means that there are some behavior that should be done by the boys, not by the girls. So here the answer is C. Now patriarchy. Patriarchy is systematic societal structures that institutionalize male physical, social and economic power over women. Actually, it is a dominance of male person of the family, not only the physically, socially, even the economically, the male person of the family dominates over the women. It is natural that physically male are stronger than the women. But how can you say that the socially or economically male person of the family are superior than the women? It could be, but it could be also that women are socially and economically powerful in comparison to men. Like in social groups, woman or the female person of the family could be more interactive, could be more popular than the male person of the family. Economically, A woman could be in a better condition, she can earn more, she can have a better position in comparison to men. So in patriarchy, it is not a normal condition that women are better than the men. The concept of patriarchy to explain the systematic subordination of women by both overreaching and localized structure. It is very important. In the patriarchy, it is always accepted the subordination of women by both the structures, overreaching and localized. It means at the local level too, it is accepted that women are not better than the men. These structures work to the benefits of men by constraining women's life choices and chances. It's very sad, but in a patriarchal society, women always have to sacrifice their choices and chances too. If a male person of the family dominates the family, then he always thinks about the benefits of himself. He always makes choices first. He always make the female person of the family in second priority. For example, if both men and women want to work outside of the home, but there is a little child in the family, then sacrifice is always done by the woman of the family. She has to sacrifice her career. She has to stay at home to take care of the child. Sometimes it happens, women get a better chance to work not in the home city but out of the city. But due to limitations, due to restrictions of the family, or due to the patriarchal society, she never go to leave the family behind, and she always trying to make a balance between the career and the family. Now the activity 3. The question is, given below are some statements about boys and girls. According to you, which one of these is true? Option A is, boys should help in activities outside the home. Option B, boys should help in household chores. Option C, all boys should taught science and girls home science. And option D is, girls should help in household chores. What should be the answer? And the answer is B, boys should help in household chores. Now the another important concept is women empowerment, which is generally intermingled with the term gender equality. I have already discussed the gender equality in the first video. Please go to the first video if you want to know what is the gender equality. And now the term is women empowerment. A bottom-up process of transforming gender power relations through individuals or groups developing awareness of women's subordination and building their capacity to challenge it. Here 3 statements are used. It is changed in gender power relationship by individuals or groups who is creating awareness about the women's subordination, and the most important thing, they are to develop the capacity in women to challenge the subordination of the women. Empowerment is sometimes described as being about the ability to make choices, but it must also involve being able to shape what choices are on offer. Sometimes empowerment is also described as to make the choices by the women, to take the decision, to step ahead to fulfill their choices, but not only the choices they make. It also involves able to shape what choices are on offer. Means whatever the choices are available, how they are shaping those choices. For example, if a girl in a small city, she has very limited choices for study. She can choose any college of her city, or she can go for the open education courses, or she can opt for the online study. So choices are there for her, but how she is shaping those choices. Here means she can opt for the online courses too, because the online courses has better appeal in comparison to the other choices. Next, the what is seen as empowering in one context may not be another. Very important. If a woman or a girl is empowered in one context, could not be empowered in another context. For example, if in rural areas a girl is going for the higher education, it is a empowerment. But in the urban areas or in the city, it's not a sign of empowerment, because already many girls are going for their higher education. So in any context, the one empowerment cannot be addressed as empowerment in another context. The next term is gender-based violence. It is defined as an act that results in a bodily, psychological, sexual, and economic harm to somebody just because they are female or male. Remember students, it's not only for the female, it can be happen with the male too. You can easily understand the bodily harm means beating someone, either male or female. Psychological, always commenting, always make inferior. Sexual, you have already heard the very common and the popular dialogue, no means no. So there could be a sexual harassment or the harm to the female or even male too. And economic harm, like if a lady is in a job, during job she become pregnant and she just fired because she is pregnant. So it is an economic harm to the female, or she has a right to gain the 6-month maternity leave, but the authority or the institution is not giving her the maternity leave or 6 months. Again, it's an economic harm. The next point is such act results in the deprivation of freedom and negative consequences. Generally, you can see if there is any type of violence on any gender, it always results in negative consequences. Many times, male or female opt suicide, they go for the suicide. And sometimes even parents, mostly parents of the girl child, deprived her from the freedom. And the next point is this violence may be exercised within or outside households. You will be surprised to know that many of the violence done within the households. Many of the known people done the violence with their known people. Even many rape cases are registered, and after the inquiry, it is found that rapes are done by their known members, by their known relations. Another important term is masculinity. What is masculinity? It refers to the multiple ways that manhood is socially defined across the historical and cultural context, and to the power difference between specific versions of manhood. You can easily find that the word is मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता. Here lies the concept of masculinity. You can observe many times the way the boys are walking. There are specific roles associated with boys and men, like they never go in the kitchen. They always do all the work outside of the home. They go for the office but not help in the household chores. Like these type of other behaviors. As a social construct, it is distinct from the definition of the male biological sex. Again, a very important line. As a social construct, it is different from the biological sex because all the roles, attributes and the behaviors associated with boys and men in this context are constructed by the society or the community. The traditionally viewed as masculine in Western society include strength, courage, independence, violence and assertiveness. These are the actually attributes. If the boy is not courageous, if he is not independent, if he is not violent, if he is not able to beat anyone, and if he has not the quality of assertiveness, he is not a man. If he is not able to pass a comment to a beautiful girl, then he is not a man. So these are the important characteristics of masculinity. Now the femininity. It is opposite of masculinity. It is a set of attributes, behaviors and roles generally associated with girls and women. For example, she is shy, she walks very slowly, she has a long hair, she speaks very slowly, she can't laugh loudly. These all are the behaviors or the attributes are associated with the girls. If we talk about the roles, she would be able to cook better than the boys. She can serve. All these are the important roles assigned with the girls. It is partially socially constructed, being made up of both socially defined and biologically created factors. It is somewhere socially constructed but made up of both socially defined and biologically created factors. For example, she has light weight. Her weight is generally lower than the boys. So it is a biological factor, but she is soft. It is a socially constructed. The next point is traits. Traditionally, sides as feminine include gentleness. I have already told you. Empathy and sensitivity. Though traits associated with femininity vary depending on location and context and are influenced by a variety of social and cultural factors. The feminine quality, traits that are mentioned here, like the gentleness, empathy and sensitivity. Can't the boys have the same traits? You can find some boys have also the traits of gentleness, empathy and sensitiveness. But if the boys have these type of traits, generally they are remarked, "Oh, ladki ho kya?" And these traits are depending on location and context. Like in the big cities or in the metro cities, the girls are more confident. They have a better understanding of the people. They have a better communication skill. So it is always depend on the location and the context. There are some social and cultural factors too. In some cultures, it is necessary to cover all the body parts of a woman. But in another culture, it is not necessary. So it depends. I have taken this picture from the Women's Web, and it is a statement of Kalki Kochlin. Thank you, Women's Web. The statement is, qualities commonly associated is feminine like nurturing or crying can also be the qualities of a man. And at the same time, qualities commonly associated as masculine like playing football, etc. can be a quality of women too. As I have already told you that the qualities associated with the femininity and masculinity can be associated to both the genders too. A woman can play football, a boy can cry. So it does not depend on the gender. Now the last activity, and activity 4 is, the question is, during classroom discussion, a teacher often pays more attention to boys than the girls. This is an example of gender bias, gender identity, gender relevance, or the gender constancy. Answer is not given. So students, please give your answer in the comment section of the video, as I have asked you in the first video too. So please keep watching our videos and solve the activities to know or to assess your understanding. So students, I hope this video will help you not only for the CTET examination, but the concepts which are discussed here are important for the B.Ed syllabus too, because in all the B.Ed curriculum, the one paper is included, that is Gender, School and Society. We have discussed here gender roles, gender discrimination, patriarchy, gender-based violence, masculinity, femininity, etc. This is the second video under this concept. The third video will be on the educational implications. So keep watching my videos and share your comments or any feedback under the comment section of the video. Thank you students and best of luck.